Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I told you that I would do a life update video, so here I am to give you that update. Let's just jump right in. Okay, so at the beginning of 2022, I was high anxiety, depression kicking in, all of that. If you want to hear more about that a little bit, you can go to this video right here. Basically, I was just not in a good place. The 2 years prior had just taken a toll on me, more than I even knew that it took, and it finally caught up to me. So I had decided to take a 3-month sabbatical from my salon. In that sabbatical, I learned what my true priorities are. I've always said, you know, family is like my top priority, but it really came to light and like I really grasped it during that time. And I was just sick and tired of, even though I worked for myself, like having to answer to certain hours and do certain things at certain times, aka like being on that schedule for other people. And that's just like, that's what it is to have a salon. That's what it is to work for yourself. That's just how it goes, right? But there was just a lot that came to light for me, and I may dig into that more in other videos. But also during that 3 months, our oldest dog, Gracie, was diagnosed with urinary cancer, urinary tract cancer, and was given less than 6 months or up to 6 months, basically. And about 2 months later, we had to say goodbye to her. And that was extremely difficult, but I will never regret those 2 months that I had every second of every day with her. It was amazing. I got to go to every appointment. I got to, we tried chemotherapy for her. I mean, I got to love on her for 2 months straight. And that's something that I had never been able to do without the interruption of like work. So I was super grateful for that. And that was a really tough loss. She was our first dog, really our first dog as like adults that we took care of. And now we just have Daisy, who's my little buddy and always right next to me. So she's in the background. She's the background today. So then I decided that it was time to actually just close the salon. And that was really scary. Like, I didn't know what that looked like. I've been doing hair for 17 years and pretty much on my own for 17 years. So, I don't know what it looks like to not work. I've, you know, done things to earn money since I was young, not including chores, and then babysitting and got my first job. And like, just, I always had my own money, essentially. Like I always made money so that I could have spending money, right? And then as an adult, you make money so that you can pay your bills and do all the other things. But that aside, it was just really scary to step away from like this like very secure, very built up, well-running salon. And that was just a true like stepping out in faith, trusting God to get me to where I need to be next, and going in completely blind to it. So we decided to go up to Michigan for the summer and just see that side of the family and hang out up there and just whatever. And we're like, well, we've got this house, let's put it on Airbnb. So we did a ton of like, I would call them upgrades to that house. You guys have seen some of it, I think, on some other videos. If I have that video, I'll link it up here. But basically we like redid what was the sunroom. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. We painted the outside of the house. It looked phenomenal. We just did a whole bunch of little things inside and got Airbnb ready. So as soon as it was ready to go on Airbnb, we popped it up and we were leaving that next weekend. And that was in May or June. I can't remember, of 2022. So up on Airbnb it went, and it did really well. We came up to Michigan for the summer, and we basically got to hang out for like 3 or 4 months with everybody up here. We got to enjoy some downtime while running the Airbnb. And at some point during running that Airbnb, I had a complete breakdown about, I don't even remember or know exactly what it was. It was just everything coming to a point that it was just intense. And like, I can remember being there. It was like an out-of-body experience, right? It was just so crazy. And my husband was like,
you need to step away from this and I will run the Airbnb. And
I was like, what? I can't do that, right? Because I've always worked.
And he was like,
you've got to, because you just need some time to heal.
I also want to mention that back in like February, when I stepped away from the salon, I started into counseling and working through things that have come up in my life again. As you guys know, my older sister passed away 20 years ago this year in May, in a car accident. And there was just a lot of stuff that came up from that. And then I think it's just going into that next life phase of life in general as an adult. And then closing down the salon, which I still believe is one of the best things I've ever done, and so on and so forth. So there was just a lot that was going on, all coming together. Anyway, I stepped away from the Airbnb business and my husband ran it. And that was like even more amazing, super hard. I really have dealt with like not feeling productive, not feeling like I'm doing anything to help our family. However, I've had to work through all that and that was fine. So there we are. And we've got this Airbnb business that's doing well. And we were like, you know what, if we could sell the house for X amount of dollars, y'all know it was a lake house. It was really, really well done, what we had done to it. So we're like, if we could sell it for X amount of dollars, we would sell it tomorrow. And we're like, what the heck, let's list it up for sale by owner. As my husband was listing it up, he got somebody that offered full price. And we were offering to do like sell it furnished and all that. Well, anyway, that one fell through. Then we had another person make an offer. That one fell through. And this is all while we're up in Michigan and he's doing showings of the house from Michigan in Texas. So he kept doing that. And then finally we were coming back down to Texas it was mid-October. We left Michigan, went back down to Texas, and we stayed with my parents for 2 months. And in that 2 months, my husband sold the house for sale by owner, fully furnished, except for some of the pieces that we had worked into that deal to take out of the home. And we had 7 days to get everything out of the house at that point. It worked out perfectly. Like, we got to get everything out of the house. We already have an enclosed trailer, so whatever could fit in that is what came with us. And since we were selling it pretty much fully furnished, all of the bedroom furniture stayed, all of the upstairs bedrooms furniture stayed. I had all my office furniture. Essentially, all we took, like everything in the kitchen stayed. Essentially, we took only the study. So this giant desk that my husband helped build. And then we also took my 2 white bookcases that I did leave there during the Airbnb. They did fine, whatever. So we essentially like walked away with, I don't want to say nothing because we have a large enclosed trailer. It was already packed full because it was acting as our storage unit like next to the house. So regardless, whatever was already in that, and we had to kind of rearrange that. And then the stuff that we had stored in the garage, which was like stuff from the kitchen that I had already pulled out that was like my grandmother's or my mom's, anything that I didn't want to potentially get messed up in an Airbnb was already out of there. So it's no big deal. So that all got done and we came back up here. Well, over the summer, my husband got the opportunity to work with a startup company. And so we are actually right now in Michigan and we are in, corporate housing. And it just so happens to be a mobile home in a mobile home park. And I have not minded it at all. It's a single wide. That's why you can see like back here, right there, like that first strip because it's a mobile home. But I will insert some before and after pictures of some of the rooms that I've done some like stuff to. I think I have painted every single wall in this home. I have painted, not even painted. I have, what's that called? Whitewashed a wall that had boards all over it. We have furnished it now with stuff that will go with us. So we got some nicer stuff that we want to take with us. We got a new washer and dryer because that stayed at the Airbnb. So we'll have that. So that all happened like this place got purchased over the summer and then we came back to it in mid-December. And it has taken, right now it is February 12th. And we have just finished getting like most of the major furniture in. So we have our bed, we have our dressers, and funny stuff is we got the same dressers and all of that. Other than this bed frame, everything's the same that we had at the lake house because we really liked it. We knew it worked for us. So we got all that set up. I've gotten decor put up, as you can see, but like I've been trying to be much more intentional and mindful about what I actually want. There's still like above the dresser that's in front of me that I'm looking at, I'd like to like put a mirror there. And then, I mean, that's about it. And then the last thing that I have coming right now is a TV stand. We hung the TV on the wall. And so we have a TV stand where it's coming and it's kind of that farmhouse style. So the doors kind of, I'll put a picture of it right here of what it's going to be. But that was the whirlwind of summer and now like end of year that we had. My family is sad that I'm not in Texas anymore. This is the first time I've lived outside of Texas.
Ever?
So that's totally new to me, but I am loving it. And we moved up here right before that big snowstorm. So if you follow me on TikTok, if you don't, go follow me. But if you follow me on TikTok, you saw some of the videos I posted of all the snow, which was not in Texas, obviously. And then I had Tiffany over at LV Coffee Lover ask me, like, what did I bring with me, like, for the summer? And I tried to make like a short list because we really just had the one truck, and we actually did ship my vehicle up here over the summer before we got here, and we were allowed to pack some stuff in there. And so in that, I like packed my Cricut and some of my Cricut supplies, you know, just in case I wanted to be creative. And my father-in-law ended up letting us stay with him, and that was amazing. I mean, one, because financially it saves you money. Two, you get to like spend time with people all the time and just see them all the time. And three, it was just like a really great place to lay our heads, right? And so we're super grateful for that. And so I knew that we had to keep it pretty minimal, what we were bringing here. So like I said, I brought the Cricut and tote of supplies, clothes and shoes. I brought my tote of purses, which,
Yeah, I got it down to one tote, and I've gotten it down to even less since then. Like,
a lot has shifted. And so again, like I will make a whole nother video, and I will do my purse collection, and I will do how and why I got it down to what it is. All that. Of course, I had a tote, probably a tote and a half of like dog stuff, not only her toys, but we brought a dog bed for her. We brought her water dish, or we got a new one while we were up here actually. And we got, what else did we bring? Anyway, I brought my camera. I brought my camera equipment. I did bring my Nespresso coffee maker. I have a list right down here. Brought my backpack with my computer and all the cords and cables and all that. We brought our own pillows, just like stuff like that. It wasn't anything super exciting because we also knew that like pretty much anything we needed we could get when we're here. So if there's something that we forgot, then we could get it here. The other big thing that I did this summer was I sold my vehicle while we were up in Michigan over the summer. And it was crazy, total God thing, because I had been saying to my husband, like,
I don't love this vehicle. I'm going to sell it. It was a Volvo XC90, and I'm going to sell it. I've just got to get rid of it. I just don't like it anymore.
and it had kind of been trouble since we got it. Anyway,
He finally looked at me. He's like, you know, you have to list it up for it to sell.
and so there was one morning I just woke up and I was like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to list it up. And I kid you not, within 5-10 minutes of me listing it up, a girl contacted me to come see it that evening. Her and her husband came to see it. They put money down on it. We met them at the bank the next night. They finished paying it off and it was done. And we paid a good bit of money, and we got all but $3,000 back from what we paid on that. And I drove it for 3 years. So I essentially, cost per year, we'll say, was about $1,000 per year to pay for the vehicle. Of course, you have oil changes and all that in there. So that's a total different thing. But anyway, it was just amazing, like the way that worked out. And so then I was vehicle-less, but we had my husband's truck, and then my father-in-law had a truck that he let me use, like just to run up to the grocery store, or to go pick up food, whatever I was doing. He allowed me to use that, and that was pretty awesome. So that was cool. So just some other, I just made some notes here. Like I said, my mental health is so much better. If you can't tell, and maybe you can't, because I didn't make a lot of videos. I really didn't make any videos during that time because I couldn't even think about it. I'm still meeting with my counselor. It's like I meet with her every 3 or 4 weeks now. And so that's great. I am definitely implementing more slow living. I've talked about this before. I have tons of like bird feeders outside of the windows out here of the living room and the kitchen. And so we can just sit and mostly I sit and watch birds, and I have a bird book that I can identify them because I'm that person now. I'm just trying to enjoy the small moments. And then since mid-October, Justin and I have made some huge changes in our diet and exercise and the supplements and what I put in and on my body, which I definitely mentioned in the Amazon favorites videos. And I can link those here if you want to go check those out. But I mean, we just have gone more, of course, natural with what we're putting in and on our bodies. I've just been really diving into doing research on what's in the things that we're using. Since then, I've lost about 20 pounds, which is great, and I have some more to go. I just started working out at a gym locally here, and started with a trainer once a week to help keep that motivation and going and all that. So that is what I have been up to. So I forgot to mention what I'm doing now, which is being a stay-at-home dog mom and working on my mental health, my physical health, all of that, because my husband is amazing and has told me just to take the time that I need. I did open an Etsy shop. I will link that down below. I do t-shirts, tumblers, and totes, some dog apparel because dogs. And that's just kind of what I've been up to, is getting this place put together, making sure that Daisy's taken care of, finding a holistic doctor for myself, which is amazing, and doing a lot of research on a lot of different things. Like I said, I've just changed everything that we've been putting in and on our bodies. So I've just been diving deep into research of what is actually good for our bodies. So yeah, if you have any questions about that,
put them down below.
Can't wait to do my purses video and update you guys on all of that and how I arrived. Here's a spoiler alert. I only have one Louis Vuitton left. Can you guess what it is? If you think you know what purse it is, put it down in the comments below. Otherwise, I have some other purses that I've gotten kind of recently within the past 6 months. Yeah. So I've gotten more recently, and then I've let a lot go, including my small leather goods. So I will do a whole video dedicated to what purses and SLGs I have, because I think it'll fit in one video pretty easily now. I see that I'm at like 17 minutes, and I know that there will be a lot of editing for this video, but for now I'm going to go ahead and call it good. If you have any other questions about kind of our journey and what we've done and where we've been and what we're doing, comment down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. That was kind of crazy. Well, I'll link it up below. Or something. My espresso coffee sorry. Brought my Nespresso coffee maker. I